Hi, I'm Jeff Stone. I'm the art guide at Soul. I wish I could be there with you in person, but I have a prior engagement. But I do want to share the new project that we're going into for this semester. And I also want to thank you for being where you are and the support that you've given your students and the school. And if there's any questions that you have for me as you're watching this, uh, please don't hesitate to write them down and send the question to me in an email, and I'd love to respond to you. The project I'm very excited for. It's a project that will allow a tremendous amount of freedom of choice, a tremendous amount of creative expression, opportunities for collaboration. It'll also be a lot of work and it will require a lot of discipline and organization. But the final product, the final reward will be a great one because they'll have a project which really shows off something that they value in a way that it can be presented to a much larger audience. The question that we're going to be exploring is how art and design can reach out and influence a mass audience and how we can directly engage that audience. Now, students will have the option of creating a publication, minimum of 8 pages. It'll be about this size. And in this publication, they are going to communicate something to the world. Uh, their topic has to relate to either history, science, or one of the Integra building blocks. But that aside, they can make their publication anything they want. So I wanted to show you some examples of publications that I showed the students to inspire them to think about uh, books and publications that are designed to teach, that are designed to influence, and that also combine uh, a message with illustration. This is a book called Be Brave, and it's kind of life advice for teens, young people, and I just think this is the messages in this book are things that relate directly to the lives of young people today. But I just love the way that it's integrated with just beautiful art. Uh, the art really kind of uh, pushes the idea of the text in really creative ways, and it's a great integration. So I love showing this as an example of combining art and design with a great and powerful message. This is Fearless, the Confidence Journal for Girls. Uh, and it has a really interesting format where each left-hand page has a quote, an inspiring quote, along with an illustration that uh, kind of ties in with that quote and kind of illustrates that the idea behind it. And this would be a great option for a publication. Uh, Quotes that are relevant to one of the topics, uh, or a theme within that topic of history or science, or one of the Integra building blocks, and finding powerful quotes and then illustrating them. So this is an activity book uh, with female strong female role models. Um, every right-hand page is a portrait, black and white portrait, for that could be colored. And then every left-hand page is some kind of activity. And the content is all about um, women's history, female empowerment, And it's all kind of it's fun. It's done kind of in a kind of a classic kids activity book style. Uh, but this is an example. An activity book would be fun. It would deliver the content information. An excellent option. The other option is to create an original game. It can be a board game or a card game. These are examples of student-made board games that I borrowed from one of my teaching mentors. So the idea is that they would design everything about the game, the board, the packaging, the game pieces. Here we can look inside this one. This is the cover. This is printed and posted onto the box. And this is, they decided to use a canvas board to play on. And these are sculpted game pieces and game cards. I wanted to show, this is an example of a game based on contemporary art, but in the format of the classic game Clue. And this is the homemade board. It's printed and mounted on a square of foam board, and then it's just been scored along the edges in order to fold and fit inside the box. So this was printed and then mounted, probably with a spray mount, and it looks pretty darn good. It looks pretty professional. This is the inside of the package. So students who would be making a game, they would be expected to make all the pieces, including the box, and inside. Now, Clue requires quite a bit of pieces, but they have everything you need to play the game, including like these little printouts here, and these are laminated cards that contain clues that relate to the information in the subject matter. So in the next few weeks, your students will be brainstorming and then submitting proposals to me about what they want their final project to be. They won't begin until their proposal is approved by me, because I will want to make sure that whatever they are proposing will fulfill the requirements of the project. And I also want to make sure that it's a substantial enough project and it's something that they're excited about, because they will be working on this for the better part of the semester. Question of materials. The materials that will be used will depend on what their project will be. When I get their proposal, I might have some suggestions on what the best way to execute their proposal is. However, all the projects will have some sort of digital component, because whether they're making a publication or they're making a game, eventually there's going to be something that will have to be printed. And so there will have to be a print budget, and I will work on finding out the most affordable way for that to happen and make sure that the parents know what the print budget will be. So as you can see, I've made a huge mess in my studio in order to share with you guys some of our plans for this upcoming semester. Actually, that's a lie. My studio is always a mess. But again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being where you are. Thank you for supporting your students and this school. And I think we've got a great semester coming up. I'm excited. The kids are excited. It's going to be good.